what are some of the goods that have come through? I mean, you had injuries, you had to go through multiple surgeries in college. And,
Mhm.
what are some of the goods that came from the bads that you dealt with along that way and then now as well?
Man, when you go through adversity, you learn who you are as a person. You have a lot of alone time with yourself, because it's really you doing that process by yourself. You can have the support from your family, you can have support from everyone else, but man, the biggest thing I see while people go through like rehab and trying to get back into what they love is a lot of them they don't try to have perspective for everyone else. So I mean, I see a lot of people complaining about their situation they're in and whatnot. I mean, the situation that I've been put in, I can't change it. So I mean, why have a bad attitude about it?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a reflection on how I guess how you train yourself to be. So just try to have a positive attitude about all of those things and believe that it'll work out in the best. But to really answer your question, I would say with every bad there is a good. For me, it's been in a sense where I mean I had a lot of people reach out. Um, I mean, at the same time, it's been people that I look up to. I mean, I listen to their music. You got like big time pastors, you got big time music guys, just telling you that they support you and whatnot. So I would say that's been pretty good for me.
Gotcha. Gotcha. When I was talking to Trent Dilfer about you, he says that for you, you understand that the journey is just as, if not more important than the destination. How did you develop that kind of mindset? Because it's really hard. I mean, it's easy to look ahead and be like, okay, this is where I want to go. And you don't really look at all the steps along the way. And you want to skip through all the process just to get to that destination. Where did you learn that was the best approach? And how do you maintain that focus and not get ahead of yourself?
Yeah, I would say it started from home. It started with my dad. My dad kind of helped me throughout my entire life with that. I believe that hard work isn't something that you're born with. It's something that's either created. It's something that um, you're wanting to do. You're longing to do because you see others as examples. Of hard work, and you kind of emulate their image of what hard work means to you. And so for me, that's how it's been my entire life with my dad. He's kind of helped shape and mold me to the man that I am today, and that I mean I would say that goes to say that um, man, a lot of my success is not just mine, but it's his, and then with the support and help of my mom throughout those years. Yeah.
What did they tell you as you were, obviously everybody dreams of going to the combine and performing. You see as a kid, you watch the throwing, the running, and everything like that. Um, and not to be able to take part in that, you didn't convey any dismay or frustration there that week at the podium when you're talking about it. Right now, you even, you don't sound like you were bitter about any of that stuff. How did you approach the combine going through that, knowing like, man, like I really would like to show what I can do, but I can't?
Yeah, given the circumstances, I understood I couldn't. I,
Hmm.
I I wasn't going to be able to because I wasn't cleared medically. So for me, I just wanted to go over there. My goal was to win the combine through my medical, and that's how I took it. I ran with it in that sense. I prepared for my medical. I knew they're gonna poke and prod me, so I understood what I was getting into, and I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything else. So for me, that was my big day, and I was just focused on that,
Gotcha.
and as well as the interviews.
Yeah. Well, then I imagine that you got grilled pretty well in those interviews. And in the FaceTimes leading up to the draft, what has that process been like for you? What have teams wanted to know about you?
Yeah, man. I wouldn't say the teams wanted to know that much about me because I believe they already knew
Uh-huh.
as much as they wanted to. Asking coaches, asking elementary teachers, asking high school teachers. I mean, asking everyone. But I would say the process, man, has been totally different. But I mean, it's only due to COVID
Uh,
and man, I would say this is the times we're living in, though.
right.
This we gotta learn to adapt to change, and we gotta learn how to move forward with all of this. So it's been different. Just a lot of Zoom calls, getting on the phone with teams, communicating with them in that sense. But man, it's definitely hard, especially when there's connection failures and this everything has to be perfect. Whereas when you're just in the room with them, I mean, everything works smoothly.
Right, right. I mean, and you very well could be like, look, you kind of got screwed. This is where you need to show what you can do physically. You would love to be in front of their doctors, as much as annoying as that poking and prodding all is. Having a pro day with all the scouts and everything in front of you. I imagine that's pretty frustrating that you didn't get to go through all that stuff, but you still got a smile on your face right now.
Well, for me, I would say it's not it's not as frustrating as people would think.
Okay.
It's just a bummer, I would say, that we're not our draft class isn't able to experience the same things that the other draft classes prior to us have experienced. Um, that's probably the biggest thing. We get drafted and we're not going to be able to fly out to the team and see their facilities and kind of be with them in that sense. But man, it's still awesome. I think it's still great that we have this opportunity, at least that it's still going on through this pandemic that we're going through.
Right. Now, what has been the biggest thing you learned from working with Trent? I talked to Kim Wisenhunt too as well, and he talked about, he loaded your brain down with a bunch of football information, like a kind of went through a rookie install, and then you had to come back a couple days and repeat all that stuff. What have you learned from Ken, from Trent, on just what to expect for this whole process of actually learning NFL style football and how different it is from college?
Well, in a sense of the difference between NFL and college, you get a lot more time spent with your coaches. You get a lot more time spent going over installs and doing this and that, questioning them. Whereas in the NFL, it's more so you have to take ownership of your own things. Um, you have to take ownership of setting up meetings with guys, setting up meetings with your coaches, and that's really how it is. I guess the biggest thing that I've learned from both of them is embrace hard. You got to embrace hard. You in order for everything to become easy, it must be hard first. And so that's what their message to me has been. And with Ken, it's been hard with the installs that he's given me, with plays that we've gone over and things like that. And with Trent, the training has been pretty difficult as well. So that's their biggest thing, I would
Has
say.
has football ever been hard for you until now?
Man, football, I believe you you make it hard for yourself, not in the game, but you make it hard for yourself in practices and times when you're training, your alone time. To where when it does come time to the game, your preparation has prepared you so well that it makes it so much easier.
Gotcha, gotcha. So how do you figure out how to you want to stay the same aggressive guy that you are, but then also learning how to protect yourself, how to operate in tighter quarters, faster clock. It all happens so much faster. How do you still be aggressive, not worry about injury and things like that, but keep playing? What are some of those things that you and Trent went over like that?
Well, I believe it's man. I still wouldn't change a thing. The biggest thing for me though is you want to be aggressive, but you just got to pick and choose when to do so. Um, I mean, as a competitor, I don't think anyone anyone wants to give up on a play that easily. But like I said, you just don't want to, man. You just don't want to want to do that as a competitor.
Yeah.
But you know, you live and you learn. And for me, I've I've had to learn the the tough way, the hard way. But I believe I'll be better for all of it.